وأستغفر إنه كان توابا صدق الله العظيم. So inshallah I'll be requesting Brother Hamdullah Sheikh is also our Vice President of the IALI Islamic Association of Long Island. So Brother Hamdullah Sheikh.
Assalamu brothers and sisters going downstairs. It is my pleasure to invite Mr. Sini in our center to give some brief. He is running for the election to District Attorney of Suffolk County. Right now he is a Police Commissioner of Suffolk County. And I can put you a little bit about him as much as I know. He started his career as a federal prosecutor, assistant to the District Attorney. Under his boss was and after that, after 2 years, he's become an assistant executive of Suffolk County. And right now, since January 2016, he is our Police Commissioner, what I call the top cop.
Great that he was going to go to. And I was especially impressed that he was a former federal prosecutor for U.S. Attorney Bahari, and that just says volumes about his reputation and character. The district attorney's office, he's not just running for the district attorney's office, he's looking to bring honest and integrity back into that office, and leadership especially. He's a candidate, he's made himself available not just as a candidate, but as a police commissioner. He's met with people of all races, he's gone to communities all over Long Island, and he's made a point to protect and serve this community. He's actually held a press conference after President Trump calls a Muslim ban and got all the religious leaders together to let not only the president but everybody in this community know that it's not going to fly, no pun intended. So November 7th is the election. I look forward to calling our current Suffolk County Police Commissioner on November 7th. Suffolk County District Attorney Sini, and with that, I believe we will introduce Commissioner Sini.
It's extremely important. It's extremely important that we elect someone with integrity. And I'm here today to ask for your support. I thought I would spend a little bit telling you about myself, what I've done professionally, and why I'm running. And then I would love to open it up for a question and answer any of your questions. First, I want to thank the Imam, and I learned a little interesting fact. My understanding is that he's the youngest Imam of the mosque, and I'm the youngest police commissioner of the police department. So together, we're a dynamic duo. I grew up in Suffolk County. I lived here my entire life, other than a brief period when I was going to undergraduate and law school. And I call Suffolk County my home. I grew up here. I'm now raising my 3 children with my wife in Babylon. I grew up in West Islip. I love Suffolk County. When I graduated law school, I knew I wanted to become a federal prosecutor. And not only did I want to become a federal prosecutor, I was very intent on why. Being a prosecutor is all about administering justice. It's not about winning and losing. It's not about how many indictments we file. It's about administering justice and protecting our communities. And I knew I wanted to serve in the best office in the country. And I don't think there's much question that this U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, which covers Manhattan, the Bronx, and some lower counties in New York State, is the premier office to serve. I was hired by former U.S. Attorney Preet. I was actually his first hire, and I served there for approximately 5 years under his leadership. Preet has proven to be one of the best U.S. attorneys in American history. He brought cases against gangsters, drug dealers, corrupt politicians, Wall Street fraudsters. In fact, he brought cases, some of the largest political corruption cases in American history, against Sheldon Silver, a Democrat, Dean Scalise, a Republican. It did not matter to him what party one was affiliated with. It was about justice and integrity and the law. And that's where I learned how to be a prosecutor. I ultimately drug narcotics cases. I brought one of the largest, if not the largest, gang prosecution in American history against a gang called the Trinitarians, which is a gang that's exists throughout the United States, got its beginnings in the Dominican Republic. A very violent gang, very similar to MS-13, which is in the news a lot these days. Took down the national leader, solved the murder, arrested well over 100 gangsters, and it was a great case. And I did many cases like that. I brought an innovative case involving a designer drug called bath salts, which was unknown at the time. We had to develop a creative legal theory to prosecute that case, and it was very important to me that we took existing law and applied it to new emerging threats to public safety in our communities, and that's exactly what I did. Brought a large case against the internet pharmacy, where doctors and pharmacists and business owners, quote unquote, were illegally selling addictive pain medications over the internet to drug addicts. Brought that case and brought that illegal internet pharmacy down and helped communities who were being preyed upon by that internet pharmacy ring. I loved my job. I was doing great work. I got to wake up every morning, go to work, and just do the right thing. But I knew I wanted to serve. I knew I wanted to be a public servant. I figured if I'm going to do that, I want to do it in my own backyard. And I was going to transfer out to the Eastern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, which has an office in Central Islington. But before I accepted that position, I met the county executive, Steve Malone, and he recruited me to come work in county government as the Deputy County Executive for Public Safety. And I thought that was a great opportunity to once again serve my community, serve my own community, my own backyard. And it was a great, great privilege and honor to serve. I got to work on criminal justice initiatives relating to the opioid epidemic, gang prevention, all sorts of different public safety issues. We created an innovative drug treatment program for people who were re-entering our community from the jails, hooking them up with treatment and getting them access to new innovative medically assisted treatment models. We started a gang prevention program that targeted young people as early as the 3rd grade. We did great work. While I was there, working for the county as the Deputy County Executive for Public Safety, a big scandal hit the Suffolk County Police Department. It involved the former Chief of Department, James Burke, who was ultimately federally indicted in prison for beating up a prisoner and orchestrating a cover-up of that crime. It turned out that James Burke was a corrupt individual and did many, many evils within the department. The county executive, knowing that the department was in crisis, asked that I go and steer the ship straight. And when he first asked, I thought he was a little crazy. I was 35 years old at the time, would have been the youngest police commissioner by far. I'd never been a police officer, although I was a federal prosecutor, an attorney, and knew law enforcement. I knew I would be viewed as an outsider. I knew I would be viewed with skepticism. Particularly, I was clearly coming in as a reformer. But I, of course, accepted the challenge. I considered it a real privilege and honor to serve the Suffolk County Police Department, and again, to serve my own community. I went there, I recruited my first Deputy Police Commissioner from the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York. He was the individual that actually created those cases against Sheldon Silver and Dean Skelos. I put together a top-notch leadership team, putting the right people in the right spots for the right reasons, completely removing politics from the department, and we got to work. We did a top-to-bottom assessment of the department. We initiated numerous reforms. We initiated numerous crime-fighting strategies, and we really brought 21st century methodologies to the department, and we saw great results. We moved the department forward out of a historic scandal in record time. We improved community relations throughout Suffolk County in all of our communities, white, African American, Latino, Muslim, all communities, rich, poor, middle class. We reduced crime to historic levels. Right now, Suffolk County's crime rate has never been lower since we've been collecting reliable crime statistics beginning in 1975. We had and we still have significant public safety issues involving the opioid epidemic and gang violence. And we addressed them head-on using innovative strategies. Prior to my administration, the Suffolk County Police Department never worked with federal law enforcement agencies, fact, they had a hostile relationship with many of these law enforcement agencies. I changed all of that, bringing agencies into the fold, working with other law enforcement agencies, working with community stakeholders, whether it was our schools or community-based organizations or our houses of worship, civic organizations, individual residents. We rolled out hotlines that involve people in the process of making our community safe. And again, we saw results. But when I was over in the police department, I realized that if we really want to reform our criminal justice system, we have to reform the district attorney's office. It is the top law enforcement official in the county. He or she is the one making significant decisions on a daily basis that set the tone for our criminal justice system. And the office just wasn't doing a good job. It's currently under federal investigation, including the district attorney and his right-hand person. Its integrity has been completely compromised. And all too often I see criminals who should not be let out of jail get let out of jail. And all too often I see people who probably deserve a second chance, who could probably benefit from what we call diversion, treatment, rehabilitation, and they're just put through the system like everyone else. It's not the 21st century. So I'm running for district attorney to restore integrity to the leadership of the office and to make our community safer by bringing those 21st century strategies into the DA's office. And I'm asking for your help. And it's not just your vote. I'm asking for your feedback. I'm asking for your partnership. Whether it's simply talking to me, telling me what's important to you and your community, and how we can most effectively serve and protect your community. Or whether it's volunteering on the campaign by making phone calls to your community and urging them to get out to vote and make sure they vote on November 7th. Whatever way you think you can add value to this campaign, we welcome it. This campaign is about reform, and it's about making our communities safe. That's why we're running for district attorney. And I say we, I don't say I, because it's not just me. This is a team. We're going to be bringing in all sorts of different people from different walks of life. And it's very exciting, and the potential is limitless. Never before has a reformer run for district attorney. There hasn't been a real election for district attorney in 16 years. A lot has changed in criminal justice in 16 years. Technology, crime fighting strategies, collaboration, our communities have changed. And it's time to bring a leader to that office who understands all of that. Particularly now, we're living in a very complex world right now. And all too often, it's the rhetoric that gets the attention. Hateful rhetoric. Well, let me say, as Suffolk County Police Commissioner and as candidate for district attorney, I reject unequivocally any speech that inspires hate and animus towards people on the basis of the color of their skin, the God they worship, where they come from. There's no place in American society for that type of talk. It's disgusting and it's divisive. As police commissioner, I've done my best to bring communities together, all different types of communities, to work on public safety problems and issues to make our communities safer. And I'll continue to do that as district attorney. So I think the most valuable use of our time tonight is for me to hear from you. If you have any questions about not only me personally or about my professional career, but what we're going to do, what our intentions are moving forward when we are in the district attorney's office, which we are going to win. I think that's the best way we can use tonight's time. And if you have any suggestions or feedback about what you want in a district attorney, what you want in a leader in the criminal justice system for your community, that's why I'm here. I want to hear from you. So before I open it up, I just want to say thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much for the opportunity to address you, particularly in your house of worship. And I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. And we're going to win on November 2nd, 2017. Who wants to start?
Your time addressing violent crime, gangs, things like that, especially now. There's tense areas on Long Island where, we pray for the people there. I would just like to ask, in terms of, accessibility to the district attorney's office, because we're coming from a community that's already the minority, but we're kind of villainized in the media, things like that, because of current world affairs. So how would you kind of address that? Where would your office be open to our community when we have problems, or we need help, or just to reach out?
Absolutely. So that's a great question, and it's sometimes more difficult than it appears, and you have to put a lot of work into this. And as police commissioner, I've been committed to accessibility, as you put it, not just my officers, not just leaders within each precinct, but my office and me personally. I have attended hundreds of community meetings. I've had dozens, probably well over 100 roundtable discussions. I take people's phone calls. I sit down with people. I make sure that we are listening and collaborating with our partners in the community to make our community safer. Now, when you talk about communities that are either in the minority or have been historically oppressed, either locally or within Suffolk County, it's very important that you don't just say, yeah, we're here, we're going to listen, let us know when you want to talk. If that's all you do, nothing will happen. So you have to be proactive. You have to set up a system or a structure pursuant to which people can actually contact and collaborate with the district attorney's office. So what I intend on doing, similar to what I did as police commissioner, is establishing advisory boards within each community so that I can hear on an ongoing basis what people's concerns are and what their needs are and how they think we should be solving problems or addressing issues in their communities. It's not just when something bad happens. We need to be proactive. And so advisory boards play a very important role in that sense because you are having conversations on an ongoing, consistent basis about the particular needs of a particular community. And I intend on taking the collaborative community policing approach I took as police commissioner and bringing it to the district attorney's office. There is zero community outreach done by the current district attorney. So we're going to change that overnight. We're going to have community assistant district attorneys. We're going to have ADAs who are assigned to particular communities so that they can learn the issues within that community. They essentially become experts in that community so they can better serve and protect the residents. We're going to be doing outreach. We're going to be in our schools. And this is not just for police. This is now becoming somewhat common for sophisticated police departments to do. It's called community policing, or problem-solving policing. Well, the district attorney's office has a role there too. And we're going to make sure that that's fulfilled on the district attorney.
What can we do to help you get elected? I mean, where's your office? When's the kickoff? There's a lot of young people who they do too.
Absolutely. So my campaign headquarters is at 5555 Plant Avenue, Hop in Suffolk County. And actually this Sunday at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. we're having a kickoff at the headquarters. And we ask anyone who wants to get involved to come to that kickoff. We're going to take people's emails and phone numbers and however way you feel comfortable communicating so that we can reach out to you and send you continuing updates about the campaign. Ways in which you can help. You can help in so many different ways. First of all, it is so important for all of us to vote. You can come to the headquarters and stuff envelopes. If you're not comfortable talking to people, strangers sometimes, you can do administrative tasks for the campaign. You can talk to your neighbors and your friends and people who you worship. Make sure they know about the election. Make sure they know who's on the ticket, why they should be voting for Tim Sini for district attorney. If there are people who you think I should meet, community leaders, or people who are influential in the community who I haven't yet met, set that up. Call my campaign, let them know. Tim should meet so-and-so. I guarantee you within a week or 2 weeks, I'm going to be having a cup of coffee with that person. That's the way I operate. So, we're also going to have a social media presence, so make sure you like the Facebook page. It's friends of Tim Sini. We have a Twitter account, which is at Tim Sini. We have a web page, which is timsini.com. So there's all sorts of ways you can get involved. Yes, sir.
There wasn't too long ago when the girl was attacking this is now known as Islamophobia. What explicit initiatives do you plan on taking as DA to make sure these crimes don't happen?
Right, so the best thing you can do in terms of preventing hate crimes is to make sure that they're investigated and prosecuted with the utmost care and severity. It's very important that people just don't brush these crimes off like they're not significant. So making sure that when we are informed of an incident like that, making sure that they're thoroughly investigated and prosecuted is critical. So there is one candidate. There was 3 candidates. I was the Democrat, and there were 2 Republicans. One of the Republicans, by the name of Bill Ferris, he dropped out of the race and endorsed me, which I took as a huge honor. One, because he's a Republican and recognized that I was a better man for the job despite his party affiliation. And 2, he's a veteran. He's a veteran from the office. But once again, I appreciate your time. I appreciate the invitation to come here, particularly where you worship. To me, that's such an honor. You know, I go to church every week, and that's my sacred place. It's very personal to me. So to have the invitation from all of you to come here, I know how important it is. So thank you very much.
Mr. Commissioner, he gives a very good speech. His vision and his mission as briefly as a district attorney. Yes, I am requesting to everybody over here, if you are a citizen and not a registered voter, first of all you have to register yourself. And then you decide to whom to vote. We are not proposing any party over here, not any candidate. That's because of non-profit organization. But still, everybody is free to vote who they want in their right.